From Nashville, Tennessee, Inside the Noize podcast with your host, Jenna Hydeman. Here's Jenna.
Okay. All right, we're back. Another week of Inside the Noize. I'm Jenna. I'm the host, and I'm so excited to introduce you guys to Jordan Depaul.
Hey, what's up?
He is here with me, and actually, Jordan, I'm going to tell you how I discovered your music and kind of came across you.
I love to hear it.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was after a breakup. A few months later, the guy sent me your song, and that is how I discovered your music.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he actually sent me the song Me and You.
Gotcha.
And it was like a few months after, and I was in New York for work. And I had been there, and it was just a nice like break to get away from Nashville, because I think you probably know, like, it's kind of like a small town here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, like, I was out there for work. I'm like, it's going to be a good week away. And then, like, end of the trip, I get this text, and I'm, like, not listening to it. I put my phone down. I'm, like, not going to do it. Like, I've had a really good week, and it's not going to be ruined now.
Right.
Well, I had about a 3-hour delay in the airport, and I listened to it, and then I was, like, sad.
Yeah, that's definitely one that hit you there.
Yeah. So just, you want to give me the story behind it? I feel like it was a song that I had listened to, like, 3 or 4 times to fully understand.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
When I forget what I originally wanted to write it about. I wrote it with my buddy Brett Cherokee, who you've had on the podcast.
Yeah, I love Brett.
And our other buddy Tommy Cole, both amazing songwriters. And I forget what I wanted to write Me and You about. I think it was more about me.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, dude, like, we got to write that about a girl. And it was kind of one of my first co-writes when I moved to Nashville.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's basically just about, it's honestly about my first girlfriend, my first like real girlfriend. I was in a relationship with her for 5 years. And I remember us just going back and forth about like trying to make things work. And she was in Pittsburgh, and I moved to Nashville.
Yeah.
And she was moving to North Carolina. And we just kept trying to make these things work. And like, no matter how hard we tried, it just like wasn't going to work. She was a lawyer, and I was a full-time musician, you know. It's just kind of like our lives, we're on 2 separate paths. And like, no matter how much, like you like I love everybody. Like, I love everybody, you know what I mean? So it's just like, when you care about somebody, especially someone that you've been with for that long, you just really want to make it work. And sometimes you just can't. Yeah. And that's what Me and You's about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a sad song.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's something. I love sad songs.
I love sad songs. I can listen to sad songs all day, and all my friends hate it.
Yeah, sad songs actually make me happy. Is that weird? Because unless like, yeah, I mean, it's more so like when I hear a good sad song, I'm like, whoa, and I get really excited about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you want to kick it off and play that song?
What did you say?
Do you want to kick it off and play that song?
Me and You?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
If you want to.
Yeah. That's you. the good old country Jordan Depaul.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, honestly, I was gonna tell you that too. I am more of a country fan, but I know like your old stuff might be a little more on the border.
Yeah.
Of it, but I also love your new stuff coming out, because I heard that first, I think. So it was a good
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So it was a good introduction for me to like continue to follow and like still listen to you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rad. Yeah. Yeah. So this is, like I said, when I moved to Nashville, I thought that I had to write country music, so I was really getting into that whole thing. Yeah. So this is still one of my favorite songs. I don't really play it out anymore, but you're gonna hear it today. I've been trying to figure out why you can't get up if you ain't been down like a silver lining round the darkest of the clouds. And we can't choose one side we're on, and you can't make right what was made for wrong. It'd be a waste of time, but still we keep on trying. Ooh, some things can change, really, what's the use when you can't dig deep enough to hit the road? Why they just don't fit how you want them to. Kinda like Me and You. never quite understood why there's bad or why there's good, but there's a rivalry that has a history. So between the north and the south, the filthy rich, the empty mouths, we may never understand what you can fix and what you can't. Ooh, some things can change, but really, what's the use when you can't dig deep enough to hit the road? Oh, why they just don't fit how you want them to. Kinda like me and you. Ooh. And if I could rewrite the book, take back all the time it took to get to where we are, when we knew it from the start. Ooh, some things can change, but really, what's the use when you can't dig deep enough to hit the road? Why they just don't fit how you want them to. Kinda like me and you. Kinda like me and you. I've been trying to figure out why you can't get up if you ain't been down, like a silver lining round the darkest of the clouds. Thanks.
And you said that was one of your first co-writes when you moved to town.
Yeah.
How did you get involved in the co-writing scene, and how'd you dive in and meet people when you got here?
So, I didn't know a single soul when I moved here, actually. I graduated college, and then I moved here a week and a half later. I found roommates on roommates.com. But I knew of one guy, and his name was Tommy Cole, who was my roommate in New York before I just moved back here. And he hit me up on Facebook, and he was like, hey, man, your sister's best friends with my cousin. Hit me up when you get here, and I'll bring you to a writer's round and show you like around town. And I tell the story all the time. He might hate me for bringing it up right now, but I remember looking at his pictures on Facebook, and he had like a paisley shirt on and a cowboy hat on. And I was like, who is this dweeb? And I met him, and like instantly like best friends.
Yeah.
It, like literally like the heart on that kid is just amazing. We joshed him like for a little bit about wearing Affliction shirts, and he looks good now. Looks good now.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally one of the best songwriters I know. I wrote "Still Miss You" with him, which is my first single that just came out off my new project. And literally, it's just he makes every song that I write with him better, like instantly better. Just like the lyricism is fantastic. But then I started playing writers rounds that he would bring me to, or I would start filling in for him on things that he couldn't make. And then once you start getting your name out there, I basically played anywhere I could. Like at 2 a.m., at 2 a.m. I would like go play like one song. And then when people start seeing you, they start asking you to do other things, and I kind of broke in that way.
Yeah.
And and then after a while, people start hearing your name, and that's kind of how I got rolling, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you moved here after college.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to go after music?
I've always been doing music.
Okay.
I've done music since I was probably like writing my own stuff and like playing with the band since I was 15. I remember when I was singing Italian arias at age 12. I like started like classically being trained at the age 12.
Okay.
And then I saw my cousin's band play when when I was 14. I was like, oh man, they're like playing their own songs and like stuff that they wrote. Like that's awesome. I want to do that. So I literally went and got a $200 guitar, like an Alvarez guitar, and started writing songs. And my cousin taught me 3 chords. And then their band broke up, and I was like, hey guys, like I have songs. Do you want to
play them?
Yeah, do you want to play with me? And I remember my cousin telling me this, and he told me this like years later. He's like, I did not think that my little cousin was capable of writing songs like that. And I showed him my songs, and he's like, okay, yeah. So basically like half of his old band became my band, and we picked up a couple other guys along the way. And yeah, we started playing, like I had like some success like regionally, and we never really broke outside of that. We played in like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We opened for the Goo Goo Dolls and like Eve 6 and stuff like that, which was cool. But yeah, and then my dad passed away in 2009, and I like lost my mind a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that like I was writing these songs, and band-wise, we weren't really getting to where I wanted to be. I was dedicating my life to it, and everybody else had like their own things that they were doing. I mean, and they were all 3 or 4 years older than me, so they were where I was in life was not where they were in life, you know.
Yeah.
But I knew that I wanted to do music for the rest of my life, so I basically like quit the band, and in the depression that I was in, I just like locked myself in my room and wrote songs. And when I came out, I was 19.
Okay.
I was like, where do songwriters go? What do I do with all these songs? I can't play them anymore. Like I'm not in a band.
Yeah.
And I was like, Nashville. So we all took a trip here. I almost transferred to Belmont.
Okay.
But they were taking 0 of my credits, and I had like a year and a half left. I'm like, okay. So I finished out my degree, and then I moved here, just pursuing songwriting. I didn't want to be an artist at all.
What made the switch?
We got asked, I got put together with like my buddy to be in a country duo. Yeah. And we like went through Right, yeah. So we went through contract talks for like the first 8 months I was here.
Okay.
And finally we were about to sign this deal, and me and my buddy look at each other and we're like, are we a country duo? Like, we're from Youngstown, Ohio, man. So we didn't sign it, and then but I kind of got like the taste, like you get that thirst, you know, like oh man, like I missed performing. And then so that was in August of 2013, and then I didn't play like my first show as like just Jordan Depaul until March of 2014. And then I just kind of started doing it from there, playing anywhere I could and playing as much as I could, just trying to get my name out there. So I guess I've been doing it professionally since I was 21 when I moved here. Yeah. It's been a long time.
Yeah, but that's crazy.
Yeah, just like that's one thing. It's you always kind of like dabble with the idea of like, do I need to like grow up, or do I need to stop doing this? Like like there's times when like, oh shit, like I need to pay for all these things, and like I can't because I'm a full-time musician, you know.
Right.
And like I was just talking to you about earlier, like all that gear I want to get that's like $6,000.
Yeah.
Like, I have all these like ideas at my fingertips, and as an independent full-time musician, it's very hard to like get that. Yeah. Like get those funds in like a lump sum sometimes. Right. You know, like okay, here's all the money, here's all my gear, and now I could work on all this stuff. Yeah. So it's like a lot of like working towards that, and as an artist that doesn't want to play in town too much. Yeah. Shows are like a big part of like income. So it's just like finding that balance of how am I going to survive and how am I going to do the right things for my artistry. Right. Yeah. It's like always there it's fine.
And you do play a lot of shows.
On the road, yeah. Yeah. I tour quite a bit. I'm going to try to play in Nashville probably twice a year. Being back here. I didn't play too much when I was here. I got asked to play a lot. Yeah. But that's that balance. Like you don't want to. For me, I know a lot of my friends that play a lot in town, but for me, I don't want to be like, oh, well, I'm playing tonight, but if you don't see me tonight, then I'm playing next Tuesday too. Yeah, so, it's like,
no, you have to come see me tonight.
Yeah. Or you're not going to see me for another 8 months. So that's kind of where my brain's been at for the last couple of years. And I don't know if people look at me and they're like, why won't you play the show with me, dude? And like I don't know if they they think like I'm an a-hole or something. I'm just like, listen, guys, like I'm not like criticizing you for wanting to play every week. Right. But, like this is like my mindset, and I don't know if it's right or if it's wrong. it's just the way that my mind goes. Like, I have friends that play downtown.
Yeah.
And they post about their shows that they're playing downtown. And I'm like, who's gonna come see you at the basement
If
and you're playing for free for 4 hours downtown, you know? And they can go see you Monday through Friday anytime they want. Now, like, they're like, I'll always go to those shows.
Yeah,
I'll always go to the shows.
like, I'll probably be there.
Yeah. But it's just like when you want to start building your crowd, for me, and I always tell songwriters or artists that first move to town, play anywhere you can.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. And people always ask me, like, how did you break into the scene like you did? And I'm like, literally, I wanted my name everywhere.
You just played everywhere.
And now I get emails or I get text messages or Instagram messages like, when are you playing next? I haven't seen you in forever. And that's kind of what I want. I want people to ask for it, you know?
Right.
And once again, I don't know if that's like a cocky thing to say or if that's the wrong thing to say, but that's just like, I went to school for marketing.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
I think it's smart. And I also think that's also a unique thing you have is like the business and the marketing brain behind it too, because a lot of musicians are just like ready to play and ready to be out there and don't always take a step back to view it.
Right, and it's fun. I love playing. Yeah. I love playing shows. I love being out in front of crowds, and I love sharing my songs with them. And it, like, being in New York and literally not doing that, because that was my biggest thing. Like, I want to go to New York. I don't want to show anybody what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to sit in my apartment, and I want to write songs, and I'll play a show here and there, but I don't want to, like, oh, this is the direction I'm going.
Yeah.
And then people will be like, well, like, what about this? Because that's what people were doing to me here. And that's the biggest reason why I moved to New York City, you know?
Right.
So I could separate myself from the songwriting community here. And being here for 5 years, everyone knew who I was. And they're like, hey, man, that's not you. This is you. Like, you need to be Americana Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't. Like
you, yeah.
Yeah. So that was honestly, like, I had all these great songs. Like, when I wrote Still Miss You in February or whatever. And Save My Breath, which is the next single that comes out probably 6 months before that. And no one heard it.
Yeah.
You know? And I was just like, man, and it was really depressing to me. Because, like, I love playing shows, and I love, not that I need that validation from crowds or anything,
right,
but,
you're
like,
sort of excited to share it.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And now that I'm, like, back, and I played my show at the High Watt a couple weeks ago, and it was just, like, it felt good. There's people I didn't, like, people, for the first time, I always said, like, all my friends were, like, doing, like, great things, and they're always on the road.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time, it was, like, I felt like it was, like a fan crowd.
Yeah, and that's really cool, especially having Nashville.
And I was like, whoa. And, like, obviously, like, I had, like, a lot of great friends there, too, but it was, like, there was people I didn't know.
Yeah.
And, like, man, like, I love Still Miss You. I was like, thanks. It was, like, really weird to me almost, because, like, you go around, like, yeah, like, you go play in Chicago, Illinois, and you have your small little crowd there of people that, like, just like your music, and you don't have a lot of friends there. And then you come to Nashville, and, like, you expect all your friends to be there. And, like, yeah, there's a couple of them, and then some of them are on the road with Sam Hunt or something, you know?
Yeah.
And and then all these people are just, like, connecting with your music, which is super cool. And I never really felt that way. It was like a euphoric experience, I guess.
Yeah. So this last year you moved to New York, lived there for a year, wrote new music, and now you're releasing it.
Yeah. So I just Still Miss You came out July 13th, and then we put out a music video for it July 20th.
Was there a reason behind those dates,
or? No, it was just kind of. I knew that I was touring in July. I had a tour booked, and I knew I was gonna probably call it the Still Miss You tour.
Yeah.
So I was, like, touring on new music.
Yeah.
Which I'll be doing in October, I think. Again, it's, like, up in the air. And yeah, it just kind of, the end of September will be the next one that comes out. Yeah, just kind of, you know, giving little tastes of what I'm working on, and then we're about to finish up the EP. That'll come out. We're going to release it this year, but I think we're going to release it early next year. Yeah, we're kind of, once again, it's very hard for me to be like, not be like, here it is.
Holding back.
Yeah, but my manager, Kelsey, she's awesome, and she has a plan for me. Like, she knows, like, hey, you need to do this now. You need to do this now. And I mean, she was on me on the road. Like, usually on the road, like, I let some things slide here and there.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, can you get this to me right now? And, like, that's what I need. Like, I'm usually pretty good with, like, getting back to people and, like, being professional about things. But, like, when I'm on the road, like, I'll let things slide for, like, 2 days and then be like, okay, hey, what's up? And she's like, no, do this now.
Right now.
Yeah. And, like, honestly, like, it's been so great for me to, like, because I like I always say I work really hard, and I think I work really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And for somebody to push me harder, like
That's what you need.
always what you need, you know.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like I'm 28 right now, and I've been doing it for a long time, and to sit here and tell you I have all the answers, clearly I don't, you know. So, but I definitely trust what she's doing,
Yeah.
like with me and my business, and we're really good at working together. So,
Yeah. How long have you guys worked together?
it's been a year now.
Okay.
It's been a year, yeah. I released Sleepwalker.
Mm-hmm.
Was my first, like, kind of like breaking into the whole pop thing. Almost probably maybe a little bit like too soon
Yeah.
releasing it. I was still trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to give to people,
Mm-hmm.
which was why I moved to New York. I'm like, I just really want to focus on what I want to give to listeners, because there's a bunch of pop songs out there that sound the same,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I love pop music, and I want to kind of like deliver it in a different way.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we were like been playing with. And I've been working with my best friend Ian Christian.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great songwriter in town, producer. And I've always wanted to work with him. We've never really been able to kind of connect on those things. But every time I sit in the room with him, we're like, dude, like we just vibe so well together. We write songs really well together. And I just always said, like, if I ever do anything musically, like if I make it in any capacity, I want to make it with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to sit there and just like get giddies over something we just created, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to sit in the room with somebody that I met a month ago and pretend like they understand me, because I don't.
Right.
And Ian knows what I want. And sometimes I'm not big on the production thing. Like, I sit there and I know what I hear,
Yeah.
and I'm like working on it right now, but I'd love to be able just to create those sounds.
Yeah.
And Ian's like an extension of me, because I can make a weird noise in my mouth, like wah wah.
And he like
And
creates
he's
it.
like, okay, sweet, hold on 1 second. And he just like, him and I are just like, he's very intuitive, and like he knows what I want. And if I stray from what I want, he's like,
That's not it.
that's not it.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. I'm like, right, you're right. So he's like, he has my best interest at heart. He's not trying to like get in, produce a track out really quick and be like, right, peace. You know,
Yeah.
like, this is the song.
He's with you.
Yeah, and like, there's times where I'm like, hey man, I really want to get this done. He goes, well, why rush it? He's like, let's make this the best it can be. And that's been really great working with him too, because that's how I've always been. Oh, I have all these songs. Okay, let's go in and record them. Okay.
Yeah.
And a month later, they're out.
Yeah.
So kind of like trusting the process and being very patient. I'm a very impatient person.
It's teaching you.
Yeah, it
Teach
is.
you to be
And
more
like all the
patient.
people around me are telling me the same things right now.
Yeah.
And they all want the best for me. And it just feels, for the first time in a long time, I have the right team behind me.
Yeah.
The right people. Like, I've always had my friends like pushing me and give me their opinions. But once again, I'm stubborn too. So yeah. Yeah. It's been great though. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to play one of the new songs?
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll play the next single that comes out.
Okay.
It's called Save My Breath. It's basically about getting in a fight with your significant other.
Okay.
Like, I think we've all been there when you have a stubborn significant other and they already think that you did something wrong and
Are
you're
you
trying
the stubborn one in this song?
No.
Oh.
Trust me, there's more stubborn people in the world than I am. But yeah, it's basically just about like, you think I did something wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to explain myself to you, and it's going in one ear and out the other. So I might as well save my breath, kind of thing. Like, just
Yeah.
you know, it's falling on deaf ears almost. So that's kind of the whole premise behind the song. So. Running out of ways to tell you I'm sorry. When you hate me, you hardly ever hear a thing. Maybe if you weren't so cute when you're pissed off, I would just stay lost when you say to leave. Oh, I've apologized over and over, but I gotta save my breath when you got it in your head that I did something wrong. 'Cause every word I say will be so ricochet till you wanna talk again. So I gotta save my breath. Ooh, ooh, ah, ooh, 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 ah, breath. Ooh, 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 ooh. I gotta save my. Can we find a way around both of our egos? Bite our tongues, baby, who knows how much time we'd save. All I wanna do is get to the I love yous, get tangled up in the bedroom, and I don't wanna wait. Oh, I've apologized over and over, but I gotta save my breath when you got it in your head that I did something wrong. 'Cause every word I say will be so ricochet till you wanna talk again. So I gotta save my breath. Ooh, 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 ooh. I gotta save my breath. Ooh, 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 ooh. I gotta save my. Holding it in till I'm holding you. I let you in so we never lose. Are you listening? Am I getting through? I can apologize over and over, so I gotta save my breath. You got it in your head that I did something wrong. 'Cause every word I say will be so ricochet till you wanna talk again. So I gotta save my breath when you got it in your head that I did something wrong. 'Cause every word I say will be so ricochet till you wanna talk again. So I gotta save my breath. Ooh, 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 ooh. I gotta save my breath. Ooh, 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 ooh. I gotta save my.
I like it. I can't wait to hear the single come out.
Yeah.
And also to see your marketing behind it.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. We're thinking on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We got some things in the works.
Yeah, I'm excited. I've been like I was talking to you before, like your Instagram. I'm just like so intrigued by it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's always like
like I said, like I like that grid clean, man.
yeah.
You know, like I post about a lot of things, and then once they're relevant to what is going on with me currently, I archive them. I don't delete them.
Yeah, where do the archives go though? Because I've never really known. I've archived stuff, and then I'm like, I really don't know where that's at.
Yeah, you can click on. I think you can click on the top right again. You'll see what you archived. Yeah, I think it's like the little like half, clock. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah.
I'm not big into the whole Instagram game, but I do like a clean grid.
Yeah.
Then I post a lot of pictures of me in the same shirt, and people are like,
hey, that's the same shirt.
Right. Yeah.
I should have worn that shirt like today.
Yeah. I would have taken pictures.
I've been big on like I probably could have. I'm not gonna say you got it at Goodwill or it looks like a Goodwill shirt, but I probably could have found a similar one at Goodwill.
Probably.
I've been big on the Goodwill vintage T-shirt.
Yeah, for sure. This is actually my new roommate's shirt. It's like a vintage like Budweiser shirt. I was like, can I wear that? She's a really tiny girl too. I don't know how I fit into it. It's like, but
I got a really cool I got a really cool Tim McGraw one.
Sweet.
And it's like when he had the mustache, and it's just like a picture of his face.
The tortee.
Yeah, and on the back it has like I don't know what album it was, but it has like I Like It, I Love It, Can't Really Be Gone, and all the names to the songs.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was excited.
I'm a big vintage T-shirt guy.
Are you? Yeah,
but I have way too many of them, and literally when I was unpacking, I was like, "You have a problem, man."
You should start selling them at your shows.
Yeah, I should. Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna start doing. I don't have shows, but I'm gonna start selling them.
I thought about selling my clothes at shows, like as my merch. When I was in New York, actually, my car got broken into.
Yeah.
And they stole all my CDs and all my T-shirts. They were just like all in like a briefcase.
Yeah.
I had a show in Maryland, and I came back, and I had so much stuff to carry. I'm like, it'll be fine. It's just a suitcase. And they busted in my back window and took everything. So.
And don't you wonder what they did with like all the Jordan Depaul
Someone's looking real
CDs.
fly in Brooklyn right now. I'll tell you what, a bunch
T-shirts.
of Jordan Depaul t-shirts. They're honestly probably in the dump somewhere.
Aw.
I guarantee you they probably just threw them out after they realized like, oh, these are just t-shirts and
Yeah, like-
CDs.
Yeah.
So
Maybe they made it to like a Goodwill.
yeah,
Someone will find
maybe.
them there.
Yeah.
I would buy it.
Yeah. I always say, like, if anybody sees anybody in Brooklyn or the New York surrounding area wearing Jordan Depaul t-shirts, you take pictures for me and
Ask
them
them
to
where
me.
they got it.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, let's find that out. All right. Each week we're just gonna do a segment. Each week on the podcast we do off-the-record confessions.
Okay.
Do you
cool.
have a confession for this week?
Confession. So what am I supposed to confess?
Like something weird or embarrassing or like
Ooh.
yeah, just something that like people
I don't know if it's embarrassing, but it's kind of weird. I have a grocery store fetish. Like I love grocery stores. Is that weird?
yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah, so like anybody who knows me, and like I always post about it. Like I was in Miami a couple weeks ago playing some shows, and we were driving down the street and I saw Publix.
Do you like Publix?
Yeah, I mean like I love Publix. Like if there's like a Whole Foods or something, like I love just like going in, like walking around, and like it's so weird. I know. Like I love grocery shopping. I'm gonna make a woman very happy someday. Because
You
like
do
I'm like,
all the
oh,
grocery
I'll go
shopping.
grocery shopping, honey. Don't you worry, because I love it. Yeah, and like when I was playing shows in Virginia like a year ago or something, I saw Wegmans, and that was my first Wegmans experience.
I've never even heard of
It's
one.
like Whole Foods on steroids.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just like it excites me to like walk around and like look at things. I
Do
don't
you
know.
like to cook?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm Italian, so
Okay.
I've kind of inherited it. It just kind of comes with the territory. Like you have to be able to cook. You know your spices. You know like what shouldn't work but does work
Okay.
flavor wise. Yeah. Once again, gonna make a woman very happy
You're
someday.
gonna cook and do grocery
Right.
shopping.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I love all that kind of stuff. And do I have to confess something else?
I mean, if you want to keep going.
Oh no, I love beverages.
I'll
like
keep
like right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I had to tell you two confessions, but I love like I have a coffee in the car that I didn't bring in because I couldn't carry it with my other beverages I brought in. So, like I have my Cavita here, and then I have my essential water, and like I just like love staying hydrated, I guess, but I love having at any point in time you'll see me with a coffee, a Cavita, and a water.
Do you have a favorite coffee spot in Nashville?
Ooh, I'm just really particular. Like I love like a good coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Very particular to Sweet 16th Bakery.
Okay.
Do you know that?
I've never been.
Okay, so I lived on Ordway for 4 years when I lived here.
Okay.
And at the bottom of the street is this very little like tiny bakery. Ellen and Dan own it. They're like my Nashville parents. I love them
Yeah.
very much. And I go in and they like I get a coffee every morning and they know like, but when people come to town, I tell them that they have to get that breakfast sandwich.
Yeah.
It's the best thing you will ever taste.
What kind is it?
It's like an egg quiche almost on top of like a cheddar cheese scone.
Okay.
It's literally the best thing in the world. And whenever we're going on the road, like me and my band, we always like stop there, and we'll grab like a bag of them to go. Yeah, it's just like that. That's my favorite coffee spot in Nashville.
Okay, I'm gonna
just
check
because
it
like
out.
it feels like home to me, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel really bad. I haven't been since I've been back.
You've only been back like a week.
Yeah, I've been back like a week and I haven't been back. Mostly because like so they work very very hard.
Yeah.
And they take like a month-long vacation, so I didn't know if they were back yet.
Oh.
They take like I think 2 vacations a year.
Yeah.
Because they're just like
Always working.
always
otherwise.
working. Yeah. Yeah. So and I don't have a car either. Like my car broke down with 245,000 miles on it last March, and then I was living in New York. I'm like I don't need a car, and if I go on tour, like I'll rent a van or something, you know.
Right.
And then I moved back here, so I'm buying my friend's car this week, which is rad. But I haven't had a car, so I've kind of been like adhering to other people's schedules,
Mm-hmm.
or like Ubering everywhere. So, but I will be there to see her and Dan.
Soon.
Yeah, probably tomorrow.
I need to go check them out. Are they open all day?
Yeah, so they're open. I'm like promoting
Like,
216th
I'm
Bakery.
like really like,
Right, yeah.
need
I
to
mean,
go. Like, I need
it's literally the best.
information.
I think they're open Tuesday through Saturday. During the week, it's till 2, and then
Okay.
on Saturdays, it's till 1.
Okay, so they
Yeah.
close like afternoon.
Yeah.
So I go for morning coffee.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a big afternoon coffee drinker.
Me too.
Which is probably not a good thing.
I have a caffeine addiction a little bit.
I'm trying to like wean myself off, and there'll be days where I don't drink, trying just not to drink it. And it'll be 4 in the afternoon. I'm like dying. I'm like, nope, need that coffee.
My friend, so I went for a jog the other day, and I came back, and my friend Ricky was at the gym, and then I was waiting for her to. She had my coffee in her car, and I was waiting for her to come back. I had to wait like 2 hours or something, and
That's a
so I
long
was
time.
literally laying on the couch, like, and
Dead.
we like went for it on Saturday, so I was like a little bit hungover on Sunday, and I was just like laying on the couch dead, and she came back with my coffee. I was like, oh, thanks, like thank you so much, and she's like, I have coffee that you could have just made. I was like, what? I was like, yeah, so I need it for sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to like. I heard it gives you like dark circles under your eyes if you drink too much of it all the time.
Yeah.
And all this other bad stuff.
I've been pretty good about it, actually. I've been having like a cup a day, which isn't too bad.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's my first coffee that's in. I lied. My roommate made me coffee this morning. So this is now my second coffee.
So I had a coffee machine for the last year, and I don't know why I didn't get a new one. But I was carrying it inside from my car. I had got it from my mom. And I dropped the coffee pot and it shattered in the parking lot. But I still had the coffee machine part. I'm like, this will still work, right?
Right.
So I bring it inside and I just use a measuring cup. But when you just use that, like, you have to, like, I'd have to stand there and, like,
Right.
push the thing up with my finger for the coffee to come out.
Right.
I've been doing it for a year. My little sister moved in. She brought a Keurig.
Nice.
And she threw my coffee machine away.
Amazing.
I was
It's
a
out
little
of there.
sad.
Yeah.
She's like, didn't you know you could just go buy a pot for, like, $5? I'm like,
Right.
I could have, but
Yeah.
the experience of making coffee and burning my fingers every morning was better.
Yeah, like I have all that stuff. Like I when I moved from New York, I moved all my stuff like into my mom's garage in Ohio, and I grabbed like everything I possibly could, to move here. But luckily, my roommate has like the coffee pot and
It has things.
yeah, there's couches there, stuff like that. So I just kind of like moved into like a pretty good bought her old roommate's bed.
There you go.
Yeah, so I basically sold all the big pieces when I was in New York.
Yeah.
And anything I didn't sell, I just like threw on the street, like, take it. I wasn't traveling with that stuff, so.
Hey, see you later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking to see if anything else. We have one more song. It's your new single, Still Miss You.
Yeah.
Give me the story behind it.
Okay, you're like, as you're asking it, you're like, too soon? No. Yeah, so Still Miss You's, it's about my ex-girlfriend. Basically, when you go through a breakup, anybody goes through a breakup, you go through that 2-week period or however long it is, of like, I'm just going to sit on my couch and do nothing.
Yeah.
And then, once you kind of snap out of it a little bit, you start, like, you go into your bedroom for the first time and her picture's next to your bed and you're like, oh, like I need to throw that away. You find things in your car if it's not broken down. You find things in your car and then you don't talk to her for a couple weeks and then she starts trying to call you. And so you block her number in your phone so you can't answer her and you don't know that she's calling. So the premise of the song is I could do all these things to try to forget you, but at the end of the day, I still miss you.
Yeah.
Because you can't toss out love. So I wrote this 2 months before we broke up.
Jordan, you're going to make everyone cry with all your songs.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, so the new record is a lot of the new record is very, very sad. Was inspired by this. I was writing a lot before the breakup and a lot after the breakup. Yeah, and that, like, as a songwriter, like, that's, like, I'm a very situational songwriter. And that's what my friends always, like, a lot of my friends can't write on a feeling. They write, like, oh, here's the hook. We need to write about this. And that's why, like, I love meshing my writing style with people that do that because they keep my storyline very, very, like tunnel vision. Basically, you're not like taking any wrong turns or anything. It's like very, like, getting the point across, but still capturing the feeling that I want to portray.
Yeah.
So I wrote this with my buddy Tommy, in New York. I had the melody. He came home one day and I was just like, I finally heard whatever picture of my wall, tossed out all the lip gloss. And I had like that I still miss you. Oh. He's like, dude, he's like, that's freaking sweet. He's like, let me write that with you. I was like, I was hoping he would say that because I'm like stuck on this part.
Yeah.
So he sat down and we wrote it. And originally it was just, I was going to release it just me and my acoustic guitar. And then I went and sat down with Ian in the studio. And it just like magic happened in my opinion. Like it was just like, okay, like this feels right. And yeah, so that's the whole story behind it. And yeah, I also have this Nissan bracelet on. Somebody, because I say toss out a lip gloss you lost in my Nissan.
Yeah. Did you make it?
No, my friend Val in Youngstown, she's like, I have something for you. And she came over. I was like out in my hometown, and she handed it to me. So I wear it every day.
I will say I did see a Nissan the other day, and I thought of you.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear that, Nissan? I need a car still, by the way. So
I was like, Jordan's probably driving around in that right over there.
Right. Yeah, I did. I had a Nissan Rogue, but it had I ran that thing into the ground. I was like touring 70,000 miles a year. So yeah, it served me well.
Yeah.
I was happy to see it go because I literally, like I said, I ran that thing into the ground. Yeah. So Nissan has a special place in my heart, you know. A lot of memories in that car. But yeah, this is Still Miss You, the acoustic version. You just won't leave me alone. I forget you for a second, the next second I don't. It's like my mind's playing tricks on my heart. Got me thinking that you're gone after all I've done. I finally tore your picture off my wall. Tossed out all the lip gloss you lost in my Nissan. Burned all your love notes, blocked you in my phone. Did all I needed to. Now the only issue is that I still miss you. Oh, oh, la da 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 da, yeah. Can't say that I didn't try. The more of your things I trash, the more I find. Love is something you can't kick to the curb. First you think it's gonna work, but then it still hurts. I finally tore your picture off my wall. Tossed out all the lip gloss you lost in my Nissan. Burned all your love notes, blocked you in my phone. Did all I needed to. Now the only issue is that I still miss you. Oh, oh, oh. La da 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 da, yeah. That I still miss you. Oh, oh, oh. La da 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 da, yeah. I know you're not coming back, but you're always right where I'm at. I finally tore your picture off my wall. Tossed out all the lip gloss you lost in my Nissan. Burned all your love notes, blocked you in my phone. Did all I needed to. Now the only issue is that I still miss you. Oh, oh, la da 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 da, yeah. That I still miss you. Oh, 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 la da 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 da. Oh, I still miss you.
I like the acoustic version.
Thanks.
But I also like the other version too.
Thanks. Yeah, it's fun. We We did a couple like live vinyls of that at
Yeah.
a place called Least of All Sound Recordings in Brooklyn, but I sold out of them when I was on the road. But yeah, I did that version of it. I was like, what if I
Yeah,
just do
it's
like
really cool.
Yeah, thanks.
Did you save a vinyl for yourself?
My mom has one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I recorded an extra one for her, so if I ever want it,
It's
she's
there.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
What else do you enjoy doing besides music?
That's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of.
Or what's something like you're obsessed with right now that's not, whether it's a TV show or like something you do? What are other things you enjoy?
I don't know. I feel like music's just been my entire life.
Yeah.
I love. I played football in high school.
Yeah.
And I actually had a scholarship to play football. My freshman year of college, I didn't take it, but yeah, sports have always been like a big part of my life. My dad had a football scholarship, and he went and played at Indiana University.
Okay.
He blew out his knee and then lost his scholarship. But yeah, that's like my favorite thing. Like football season's coming up, and
Do you have a team?
I'm a New York Giants fan.
Okay.
Actually, I'm from Youngstown, Ohio, so everyone's like, "Oh, Browns or Steelers?" I'm like, actually, the New York Giants. I actually grew up a Michigan Wolverines fan too, from Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's just kind of like my uncles and my cousins were all Michigan Wolverines fans, and I kind of like got roped into that whole thing. So it was always fun. Like the Michigan Ohio State game, all my friends were rooting for
Oh yeah.
Ohio State, and I was always rooting for Michigan. So sorry, Ohio, I still love you, OH. But yeah, that's coming up. So my favorite thing is just like on a Sunday, just going and having beers with my friends and eating like a submarine sandwich. You know, like,
Submarine
yeah,
sandwich.
yeah, like a big sub with like capicola meat on it. Me and my dad used to do it all the time. We'd watch football games, and we would just go to like this place called the Sandwich Factory in my hometown of Youngstown. So if you're ever there, go check that place out. I grew up on Sandwich Factory. I was an overweight child a little bit.
Were you?
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's another thing I enjoy. Like I love going for jogs. I love being in new cities. That's something that I love traveling, which I get to do as a musician.
Yeah.
And I love waking up in like a city that I've never been to, and it's like going for like a 5-mile jog and like getting to know the city by foot, you know?
Yeah.
So eating really, really bad food for me, and jogging.
Jogging.
I love, yeah.
That is how you stay fit, the jogging.
Yeah, for sure. I think like that's probably my, like, sports, traveling. I love it. And that's something that I'm very fortunate that I get to do is travel. Like it's like work trips, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're driving from Youngstown to Chicago, and I love food. Yeah, I'm Italian. So, and chocolate chip cookies too.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah. That's like my weakness. If you give me a good chocolate chip cookie, I actually had somebody make me chocolate chip cookies before.
Yeah.
At a show, they brought me chocolate chip cookies because they know that I like them, which was cool. But yeah, it's like going to brunch in Chicago after I go for a jog and like with my guitar player or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
That's just something. And I love my friends, you know. I just love spending time with them. So, that's something I think maybe being here for so long and having them around so much made me really like almost not take them for granted, but like, oh, at any point in time I could be like, hey, let's go grab coffee or let's go to dinner and then go to the show.
Yeah.
And in New York, I didn't know that many people. So like being away from them, and every time I'd come to Nashville to visit, it would just be like, man, like I miss all you guys so much. So
yeah.
Nowadays, like especially like being here, like I really, really value my friendships. And like I said, not that I didn't before, but it's just like you don't know what you got till it's gone kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just that's like my spending time, you know?
Spending time, yeah.
Spending time.
Your love language is quality time.
It is. Yeah, for sure.
And chocolate chip cookies.
Chocolate chip cookies, yeah. Bake me chocolate chip cookie. We'll talk about marriage in about 4 days.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, so everyone can follow you on...
Oh, yeah, so I have a website. It's jordandepaul.com. I have Instagram. It says Jordan Depaul. It's JordanDepaul, like the university in Chicago. Yeah, I'm on Facebook as Jordan Depaul. I'm on Bands in Town, all that stuff. I'm on Spotify, iTunes. So yeah,
Now, do you prefer streaming? Do you use Spotify, iTunes, Pandora?
I had this conversation with my friend last night that just moved here from New York, actually.
Yeah.
And she's like, I hate Spotify.
I love Spotify.
So do I. And especially for artists like me,
The Discover Weekly and
Yeah,
Discovery tools are really
all
great.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, and it's like for someone that's trying to get their name out there, Spotify, even like it's obviously it's hard to get on playlists, and but my song Brighter Shade of Blue got put on a playlist. It's about to hit 3 million plays probably like tomorrow. So
It's crazy.
yeah, so like stuff like that would have never happened. Like people from like Brazil being like, hey, I love your song, and getting like messages from people in like London,
Yeah.
like, oh, I love your song, and like seeing the numbers like increase, how much they increase a day. And those people would have never heard of me without Spotify, you know?
Yeah.
They're not going to go buy, like, I did this, I like, but not everybody's like me. Like, when I was against Spotify when it, like, first came out.
I didn't use it.
Yeah,
when
and
it
I would
first
go,
came out.
and I would go on iTunes, and I'd go on the fresh, like, folk or whatever they had. It was, like, the new music folk or singer-songwriter. And I would listen to, like, the little clips the 30-second clips you could do, and I'd be like, this sounds like a record I would like. And I bought it.
Yeah.
And that's how I found some of my favorite artists.
Yeah.
I found Penny and the Sparrow that way. Like so many others that way. But when I put my songs on Spotify and people started finding them that way, like it gives them an opportunity to get to know me before buying my record, or even if they never buy my record, you know, they love my music and they come to shows, and that's such a big thing now, I think, in music. Like, if your song hits, you have 1,000 people, like, hits 1,000 people at your show in Indiana.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, I see it as like being like that, like so beneficial in that way. And there's a guy here, R. Lamar. Do you know R. Lamar? Oh man, he's killing it. He's killing it right now. Like he has a song called Frustrated. It has like 42 million plays on Spotify or something now. He's playing
crazy.
and like I think he has a very, very like great team behind him, and he's probably one of the most talented people that I know.
Yeah.
And so he deserves all the attention that he's getting, but like that song skyrocketed him. And it's called Frustrated, and he's just like playing Bonnaroo, and like he played Lollapalooza, and he had a crowd of like, I don't know how many people, like 500 people in front of him that like were there to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and it's just like it's super cool to see something that I was so close-minded to become such a big part of like what I do now. You know, like I look for like I hope that my songs get put on a playlist. You know, like please, you know, and like obviously like you could pitch it to curators and stuff, but
Jordan, I'll put you on my playlists.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, it's just like it's stuff like that, and I know a lot of people that are writing songs strictly like, oh, I think Spotify curators will like this, you know.
Oh.
Like I've talked to people in New York doing that, and I don't do that, but this next one I think everyone's gonna really like. So
yeah, well, you have I did look at your Spotify earlier too.
Yeah.
You have like 90,000 monthly listeners,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like all those people listen, man. It's still like I'm like flabbergasted by it.
Yeah, you're like what?
Yeah, and it's been growing so much too in like the last couple weeks. I think 2 weeks ago I had like 76,000, and just like out of nowhere.
All of a sudden.
Yeah, so I don't know if that has to do with my music video that was out or but yeah, it's great. So if you guys listen to me on Spotify, come see me at a show around the United States. Thank you very much. I love you all. Let's meet.
Now this is like not off topic, but it's just like random. So I'm looking at your Spotify right now, and I always like to go to the fans also like page. Have you looked at yours recently?
I haven't.
So it's interesting because you're now going more pop, but your fans also like page has like
a lot of country stuff. I know that.
Yeah.
It's been like that for a while.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of because, and when I first released my first pop song, Sleepwalker, it was on iTunes. No, it was on no, but it was on iTunes under like Hot Country or something. It was number 6 or something on Hot Country, and I was like, this is not a country song.
It's not country, but it's cool if they like it.
But for like I said, like when I moved to Nashville, I really pushed myself as like that Americana, like country.
Which I think you have more Americana because you have like Rustin Kelly and Sean McConnell.
Oh yeah, which
I
love both of them so much. Oh my god, like that song. I'm not gonna swear, even though I think I've already sworn on here.
It's explicit.
Okay, cool, sweet. So that song "Asshole" by Rustin Kelly.
Yeah.
When he wrote that, I was just like, hell yeah, man. Like, you own that shit. Yeah, and like, I don't know. Charlie Worsham.
He's on here.
Yeah, yeah.
I like everyone on your fans also. Like,
Yeah, I mean, and that was the thing. Like, I looked up to those guys, you know.
Mhm.
Like, I moved to town. I was like, if I have to do country, like, that's the kind of country I want to do,
right.
you know. And I was always big into like the folk music. I wrote folk music before I moved here. And it kind of like got morphed into like the more Americana because I was writing with a lot of country writers.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people were trying to push me, like old management labels. Anybody was like, well, if you're a little bit more pop country, we could do this. And I just like really just like put a bad taste in my mouth. And like I grew up on the Backstreet Boys, and I grew up on Tom Petty.
Yeah.
You know, and like Bob Dylan and the Beatles, and it just like I shied away from that pop thing for so long. But I'm like, man, like my first concert was the Backstreet Boys, and my second one was Hanson. Like, and yeah, I enjoyed Shaggy at that, like when he opened up for the Backstreet Boys too, you know?
Oh my god.
And just like I've always loved all types of music, but when you look back at my history and like I guess America's history, like everybody loves pop music.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you say you do now, you know, tearing up my heart when I'm with you. You know it, you know?
Yeah.
And I've just shied away from it for so long, being in Nashville, thinking I had to do the country thing.
Right.
And like stick it to the man. And then I just started writing songs for myself, and it started coming out that way. And then, like I said, every time somebody was like, well, this isn't you, man. Like, you're country. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
And then really just kind of separated myself from that whole writing scene. So I write with a couple, like, when I'm writing for myself anyway, I write with Ian, which is my producer / best friend. Tommy, who I wrote Still Miss You with. And that's really it.
Yeah.
Right now, that's those. I wrote the song called One of Those Guys with my friend Bo in New York City. Great songwriter from LA. We actually met each other on Instagram. And we just like, we're a fan of each other for 3 years, and then she moved to New York. So we like, the first time we hung out, we wrote a song, and it's on my record.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so like when you vibe with somebody, you like know.
Yeah.
And then I had a great write with this other guy the other day, this producer in town, who I'll definitely be writing with again. Yeah, we wrote a song that might make the record, actually.
Yeah. Are you always going to write for yourself, or do you ever like go into write knowing it's not for you? Are you more like wanting to share?
I did that when I was here, for sure. Like I said, like, I've only been back for a week now. And I think I know next week we're writing with the writer on Big Deal. And I've listened to some of her stuff, and it's pretty country, so I don't know. And Ian, my producer, loves me. It's going to be me, Ian, and her. And he loves writing pop country songs too. That's what he does, like, by day.
Yeah.
And then he, like, builds out the tracks. But, like, I'm, like, kind of, like, his passion project, which his girlfriend is too. And I'm going to connect you with her whenever you're ready, because her new single's about to come out, and it is dope. It's so good. She goes by Moody.
Moody?
Yeah.
Okay. What genre?
Pop.
Pop, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just, like, when she showed it to me, I was like, oh, my God, my mind's blown right now. It's so good. And she has a song on Spotify that you can check out too. I'm like promoting my friends.
Okay.
Like I said, like,
I'll check her out.
Yeah. I love my friends, but yeah. So I'm like, when I'm writing for myself, I'm very particular with who I write with. My manager's very good at setting me up rights. That like, this is a right for you, and I'm not gonna put you in a right with someone that's gonna sway you the wrong way. So we have like a Google Calendar going now, that it just like fills up. She puts a right with me and like says what they do, and so I have my go-to guys, and I feel like everybody who's an artist, I know one of my favorite artists, Lauv, if you know him, he has that song, I like me better when I'm with you.
Yep.
One of my favorite artists, like pop artists, and I saw him in an interview, and he's the same way. He's like, I write with my roommate.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. And he's like, and he wrote songs to like Demi Lovato and everything. And he's like, what he said is, I'm very fortunate to be put into these rooms with some awesome writers and get some great cuts with huge artists, you know?
Right.
And that's how I feel, you know, like I'm very fortunate to write with great writers, and yeah, I would love it if Tim McGraw cut one of my songs, you know. But when I'm trying to do quality control on my sound, I'm kind of like the you can't sit with us kind of thing, you know. Like you can't sit with us unless somebody unless not that bitchy, not that mean girls, but it's kind of like
I think that's necessary.
I know what I want my sound to be, and I know who I vibe best with, you know. So and that's Ian and Tommy right now. So yeah, I'll write with them anytime they want to write with me. I'm really curious to write with Brett again.
Yeah.
Being back in town, scheduling wise, like when I was in town for like 2 weeks or something, he books out because he's, like I said, like one of the best writers I know. But I'm really curious to see how he could, like, his take on lyrically. Anyway, on what I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be good or it'll be bad, but I know that's somebody that I'd love to give give a chance to like see what we can come up with together.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, like, he's one of my best friends too, but I don't want to like kind of like push him away from that because I think we can come up with some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Brett.
Good old Brett.
Yeah.
I told him he reminded me of Dierks Bentley when he came on the podcast.
Oh yeah. You know who he actually looks like?
Who?
I put it on my Instagram story the other day. He's like, I hate you. He looks identical to Matt Kearney, who just moved to town too.
Yes, I know who that is.
Matt Kearney. Yeah.
Yes, he has a song. Is he the one who sings like New York to California?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And he has that new one, Memorized, which is like a killer song. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's someone that I'd love to like tour with.
Yeah.
Like vibe wise, like we're right there.
Yeah, I feel like his sound has changed.
Oh yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, he's not he did the whole like folk thing, but he always like rapped. You know, he was like but he has like that voice that's like, oh man, you're not actually rapping, you're just more so talking, and it's really cool.
It just it works.
Yeah, that's like somebody that I grew up on too. Like, I mean, I was born in '89, so like all through like early 2000s, like that was when very influential in what I did.
Yeah.
Like what I'm doing now and stuff. So, but yeah, he looks identical to Matt Kearney. And I put like a picture of Matt Kearney in a ball cap and put a picture of Brett in a ball cap side by side on my Instagram story the other day.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys look identical. Yeah.
And he's like,
I hate you. Yeah.
You got triplets with their Dierks up there, like an
Right.
old Dierks.
Right.
Like right before.
Yeah, he does look like Dierks too, though.
Yeah,
He
right
does.
before we went in that interview with him when he was on the podcast, I had watched a Dierks Bentley Riser documentary. I can't say that word well. Documentary. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
On the plane right before I got back into town, and then I sat down with him. I'm like, "You're Dierks Bentley. Like, this is it."
It's true.
Oh.
It's amazing.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up.
All right. Be safe.
Yeah. 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 That's it.
That's it.
I need a better way to sign off. I haven't thought of one yet.
Yeah.
We used to have like clever things, but
Yeah.
I'm still working on it. So if you have any ideas.
I don't know. I don't know. Are you gonna cut? Are you cutting these? Do you
Do
cut?
you want me to cut this out?
I don't know.
Oh, no, we'll just sign up. Okay, yep. I'm Jenna. This is Inside the Noize.
I'm Jordan Depaul, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming. And that's it.